Guy Sports.
Full episode for October 10th, 2025.
And smash that subscribe button.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. It's your host, Brent Bilski, a.k.a. Double B, or the Winston Soldier. Right along with me today as we spend the last few hours of my young 40s together. Yeah, it's my birthday. Just in a little bit, in case you want to get me a gift, don't worry about it because you already did, at least a lot of you. My goal pre-birthday was to hit at least 100,000 subscribers, which we have done.
Yes! Give me 10, Norton! Everyone can eat shit! A big bag of shit! I'm the greatest man in the world!
So thank you very much. I obviously understand there's a lot of content on the internet, so for people that were, willing to ride along with me, I really appreciate it, so thank you very much. A lot of these topics, though, I'll be a little selfish, are near and dear to me today, but I think will also interest you, so let's get into it. First of all, LeBron is a liar. I mean that with love, but he did his little troll today. Looks like he'll stay in LA. I'll explain why he needs to stay there. Longevity versus MJ, all sorts of stuff. Also, in better news for me, Steph and Seth, the Splash Brothers, authentic, are together in Golden State. That's something I've been waiting to happen for a very long time, and it's finally happened. I'll tell you why it's a great thing. In the WNBA, I don't want to talk about the finals. I want to talk about the real battle, Napheesa Collier versus Kathy Engelbert, and this whole thing where she has become this hero. Someone has to bring it up, and if I have to be the bad guy, I will do it.
I'm the bad guy.
When you are the co-founder and owner of a rival league, I don't know how much I can say you're just a civil rights leader or a hero, any more than I could give a poker player credit for winning with a royal flush, if that makes sense. We'll break it down more, but somebody had to bring up the uncomfortable part. She really played a hand that she couldn't lose. I'll explain that. Shout out to LaVar Ball. I'm actually going to talk about LaVar for a second, who's going to be my new favorite three-legged dog from loudmouth to life lesson. I'll explain that more. And also in the NBA, as the season starts, the two brightest young stars, Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flagg, they have shown me each a red flag, pun intended, that Spurs and Mavs fans need to hear me out on. So a lot to discuss today. Let's get into it. We'll start off with the big one, LeBron James.
Oh, you lied to me. You lied to me.
Ah, you son of a bitch. He fooled us all. The retirement hurt around the bar, as we'll call it. LeBron James decided to troll me, the media, other NBA players, the entire internet as he teased the King's second decision, and everyone was speculating maybe he's talking about his retirement. Lo and behold, it was just a Hennessy ad.
Well, everyone's on pins and needles across the country. You ready to go, LeBron? Where's the powder?
Left it at home.
LeBron, fans want to know where you're taking your talents this year. What's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is tough. In this fall, I'm gonna be taking my talents to Hennessy VSOP.
It was all a prank. It was all a joke. So, at least good news, he's not retiring, at least not yet. And I'm glad because, look, LeBron is still playing on a very high level. The 40-year-old is now entering his 23rd season, but just last year, even at his advanced age, 24.4 points per game, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He's played 70 and 71 games the last two seasons out of 82. That's the most he's played since all the way back in 2017 when he was with Cleveland.
Not bad for an old man.
And the NBA still needs him. They still need Steph. We need them to kind of hold the line until this next generation shows up. You can see the results just from last year. The Christmas Day game, they played each other, got 7.7 million viewers, by far the most watched regular season game of the entire season, and was only rivaled by big playoffs and NBA Finals games in ratings. So we still need him. I'm glad he's still around, even though he pulled a little prank on us. And he is going to remain a Laker, and I think he will still retire a Laker. And whether that's in the next season or the season after will be seen. But just to end any speculation on this part, he is going to finish this season a Los Angeles Laker. Don't get it twisted. The 40-year-old free agent is at the end of his contract and is on the final year of a $52 million deal. Nobody is matching a $50 million salary with the new CBA rules for a half-year rental LeBron James, who is most likely on his way out. So I don't expect any trade. You'll hear the rumors. I don't think any team will actually bite. Plus, he's still got Bronny there, and Bronny did look better in his last preseason game, got the cool putback dunk. He seems to be figuring things out, but he still needs his dad around. He's not walking away from that. That's not just family. That's mentorship. That's protection. That's legacy management. So I don't think he would leave Bronny there for any reason. He has the no trade clause, of course, to back all of this up. And even if he did go, most teams wouldn't make sense in the first place. I would say maybe Cleveland, but it would cost you too much, again, for a half-year rental and $50 million free agent at the end of the year. And a lot like the Hennessy ad, he's lied to you.
I never loved you.
LeBron has lied to Cleveland for so long, it's ridiculous. He's an Akron kid. He's not a Cleveland kid. He pretended to love y'all, and you bought it hook, line, and sinker, but he's never really been down with y'all. He's been down with Akron, which is a whole different thing. But more importantly,
we got a championship to win.
I also think he should stay because I think the Lakers could actually win this year. I mean, don't sleep on the Lakers roster. They quietly retooled and did very, very well, adding Smart. The big one, DeAndre Ayton on a buyout from Portland, was super cheap. He is going to be a big part of their season going forward. I liked even LaRavia, the kid they picked up as well. Gabe Vincent looks completely different. Dalton Connect is going to be on his second year. And, of course, the in-shape Luka Doncic, who finally got his fat ass in shape in the offseason.
Why don't you go on a diet, fatty?
On your diet, man.
He could help carry the regular season to keep LeBron fresh for the playoffs, along with the young Austin Reeves. So the West, in general, to me, is wide open. I am not one of these people who bought into the Thunder.
I like that.
I still don't. Look, they got it done, but they had a free run last year. I've talked about this before. Look at what they did. Yes, they won the championship, but they beat a hurt Memphis who had a Ja Morant hurt. They beat Denver, who had both Aaron Gordon and Michael PJ also hurt, and that still took them 7 games. They had to beat a young Minnesota, which was okay, but even young Minnesota was probably only there because Golden State, Steph Curry, and Jimmy Butler was actually a little bit injured himself, so they were all hurt. Then they go on to beat a hurt Indianapolis, who was only there probably because the Celtics were hurt, and Indy was up 2-1 before Halliburton went down with the Achilles tear. So I do not have this same love that like, oh, the dynasty is just guaranteed. I think the Thunder could be good, but it's not exactly guaranteed. Lakers look good. The West is wide open. It's a small window, but it is still open for LeBron to win. And I also want him to keep playing. And if you're a LeBron fan, you should be backing me on this because when it comes to getting him to the GOAT or get his legacy up, it's all going to be continued on longevity greatness.
I've been doing this a long time.
LeBron and his greatness is really tied to his longevity and his ability to be very good for a very long time. That is really his argument for the GOAT status. It is truly longevity versus dominance when it comes to the old debate, which I try to ignore, but I'll do today quickly, LeBron versus Michael Jordan. LeBron has always been great. 22 years of great, but he was never the greatest, man. I mean, look, 10 finals appearances, but he only won 4, 27, 7.5, and 7.4 assists over that 22-year career is crazy. 2 decades of greatness, 8 straight finals, and one of the most durable bodies in sports history. He took care of himself, and he's lasted longer than anyone else we've ever seen in almost any professional sport. So if we're talking legacy with LeBron and why I want him to keep playing, it's because this is what fits into him. He's a longevity of great, but he's not a reign of dominant. He was always very good, but he was never really untouchable.
He does not exaggerate. I was good.
You were great.
His greatness is in his endurance. It's just what it is, man. He never had the 6-year run or the big burst that a Michael Jordan had. He had 22 years of producing consistently, and that's why you see most of his records fall into the all-times. And they're great records. I mean, let's not get it twisted. LeBron James is going to go down as a GOAT and has made all-time history in so many categories. The all-time points leader, top 5 all-time in assists. He has the most minutes played in NBA history. He has the most playoff games ever. He has the most postseason points ever. Top 10 in steals, the most combined regular season and playoff wins of anyone not named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 20 straight seasons, averaging 25-plus points. But if you look at most of those records, I will point out it's names like Kareem, Stockton, Malone, Derek Fisher, Stockton, Kareem again. It's endurance and it's consistency and it's Iron Man, but it's not the same as dominance. And this is one reason I want to bring this up. There's a pet peeve that LeBron fans do with me, and I'm going to beg you, this is a rule I'm tired of y'all breaking, and even though I'm rooting for him to continue to play for a couple more years, y'all drive me crazy with this fake smarty pants bullshit.
You fake smarty pants. I know exactly what
It's my one pet peeve with LeBron fans, and it's my rule of basketball logic, and I want you to follow the bouncing ball. If you didn't call the guy that LeBron passed the GOAT before LeBron broke the record, you can't call LeBron the GOAT because he broke it. If you didn't call the guy he passed the GOAT before he broke the record, you can now not call LeBron the GOAT because he broke it. And I hear this one, Kareem in the all-time scoring record. Most LeBron fans I never heard mention, oh, Kareem is the GOAT. Kareem is the greatest. Kareem is the best player we've ever seen. But then LeBron passes the record. Suddenly, you want to throw it up there in that status. Do you get what I'm saying? It's selective stat worship. Most of those records he has are names like Kareem, John Stockton, and Malone, who are great players, but I do not hear LeBron and his fan base bring them up in the all-time greatest. So if he breaks their record, that's awesome, but if they weren't the greatest, how does that make... Do you get where I'm going? John Stockton's a big one to me. You want to talk about all-time records? John Stockton, to this day, is the all-time leader in steals and assists. I don't hear anybody bring him up on Mount Rushmore, not even a point guards, and there might be other reasons for that we don't have to get into today.
Because I'm a white guy?
It is what it is, but I'm just saying I don't hear most LeBron fans put Stockton up there for all-time cumulative list. Why do you get to put LeBron? It's just a thing. I know what y'all are doing. You're trying to twist the narrative to fit it. It's fake smarty pants bullshit. I know what you're doing.
You fake smarty pants. I know exactly what you're doing.
You don't get to pick the math when it counts. If it has to count for everyone or it counts for nobody at all. You look at Jordan. Michael Jordan was about dominance, not just longevity. He didn't go as long, but boy, was he dominant. 1988 to 1998 was a run of freaking terror. Nobody quite did it like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan from 1988 to 1998 was an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Let's go through everything he did. I mean, 10 scoring titles is still more than anyone else in NBA history. Wilt is the next closest with 7. Of course, the 6 finals MVPs, undefeated in the finals, 6-0. Most of y'all know that. 30.1 points per game career average, the highest ever. 33.4 playoff average, highest ever. This is the big one. Michael Jordan had 4 seasons where he won MVP, the scoring title, first team all defense, a championship, and a finals MVP in the same year. He did that 4 times. No one else, a big fat 0, has ever done it even once. I'm going to repeat that one more again. 4 seasons, Michael Jordan won MVP, scoring title, first team all defense, championship, finals MVP in the same year. He did it 4 times. Not only has LeBron never done that, nobody else in history has ever done it. He's done it 4. He also won the MVP, scoring title, Defensive Player of the Year, and a damn dunk contest in the same season. You go to when it really counts, the playoffs, MJ had more 50-point playoff games than Kobe, Wilt, Kevin Durant, and LeBron combined. He had more 40-point playoff games than Kareem, Iverson, Steph, and Dwayne Wade combined. He never scored in all 6 finals, 35 finals games under 20 points. LeBron not only did that multiple times, he only averaged 17.8 the year that he lost to Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki, Barea, and Jason Terry. And oh, by the way, MJ did all of this versus his era of 7 of the 10 top scorers of all time, 8 of the top 10 steals players of all time, 7 of the top 10 assists all time, 9 of 10 blocks ever. Those are the dominance and the players and everybody that he had to run with, and he did all that, and he was able to beat only his era. Nobody questioned it was Michael Jordan's. To this day, I don't know if you can really ever say there was truly a 8 to 10 year window that was only LeBron James's era. It's just a fact. Jordan didn't last as long. He didn't have to. I'll even put up this chart so you can see the best 10-year runs, combine them and compare them. And I'll even have to do for MJ, it's really only 8 because I have to take 2 years away from baseball. But let's take Michael Jordan 1988 to 1998 versus LeBron James 2011 to 2020. Those are their best 10-year runs, and it's not close. Again, 6 championships to LeBron's 4, 6 finals MVPs, of course, to LeBron's 4. 5 MVP awards to LeBron's 2. They both did make All-NBA first team 10 times apiece, and LeBron had more finals appearances, but he also had 4 losses to his none. In that time, Jordan also had 8 scoring titles, 2 three-peats to LeBron's 0. LeBron only had 1 scoring title and 1 assist title. Never got Defensive Player of the Year like Michael Jordan did, and Michael Jordan's also 9 times All-Defense versus 5-time All-Defensive first team. It really has become the only thing you can say is that LeBron did it
because I lasted longer.
very good for a much longer time, but he never had to run the window, and I'd rather take Michael Jordan's 10 years over LeBron's 22. It doesn't mean LeBron isn't great, but it does mean the one thing he can cling to, and LeBron fans have to cling to, is the longevity. So I'm glad he trolled us, even though it was a little bit of like, really, dude? Typical LeBron fashion. He's always got to pull some little thing. But I hope he keeps playing. I love it. I love that he's playing with Bronny James. I think I'm really a fan of that, and good luck in the future. But he got us. He got all of us. But he will still be a Laker. Don't count on him being traded. And he'll have to continue to keep playing, hopefully, because his whole legacy is tied on longevity, not the greatness of a 10-year run like Michael Jordan. Moving on to a whole other media-led frenzy that is seeming to be a complete okie doke here. I got to talk about Napheesa Collier versus Kathy Engelbert in the WNBA. Oh, Lord. And the reason I'm going to talk about this, bringing up WNBA, because it's way more interesting than the WNBA Finals. Does anyone give a shit about the 2-0 lead that the Las Vegas Aces have over the Mercury? I know I don't.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I don't hear anyone really talking about it. I think most people, like me and everyone else, are locked in to this battle between Fee and Kathy Engelbert, commissioner of the WNBA.
That's right. That's right.
Ratings are really kind of on our side for that argument. Game 2, it was Sunday, but it only got 1.34 million views. That was less than NASCAR. I mean, Caitlyn in her regular season continually toppled that, averaged 2 million a lot of times easy. It just doesn't seem to have any real buzz or anybody really talking about it. Everyone wants to talk about this battle, and Fee being this hero, this Katniss Everdeen, this civil rights leader like her grandfather, going against the horrible WNBA, and it's this big old story. Well, somebody has to bring up the point that you won't like, and nobody wants to touch it because it isn't a comfortable conversation. But the fact is, your hero had a royal flush and played a hand that she couldn't lose, and I don't know how much credit I can give somebody for doing something when they were the co-founder and owner of the rival league, as she did all the things that she did. She played a hand that she could not lose. So let's get into it. In case y'all haven't really followed all this, there was this big battle last couple weeks between Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, and Fee. So what happened is, at the end of Fee's playoff run, there was this foul. Alyssa Thomas clearly fouled her. It led to an injury. The Lynx went down. So in Collier's exit interview, she went ham.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
She was fouled, I'll give her that, and she talked about the no call. She was clearly pissed off. She was also hurt. She started criticizing the league, the officiating, the inconsistent standards.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlyn, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlyn should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
And then she went on into getting into Cathy, calling her, quote, the worst leadership in the world. In the world, not just like in sports, in the world. They were negligent. They're tone deaf. The commissioner is suppressing our voices. She has no accountability. She went on to say, I heard direct quotes where she said things like, anyone that complained about our bad officiating are just losers, and that Caitlin Clark should be grateful. She'd make no money if it wasn't for me in the WNBA, and the whole league should be on their hands and knees thanking me because of the television deal and the media rights deal that I got them.
And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them.
So it was a lot of fire thrown, and Engelbert came out, and she really had a pretty tepid response. It wasn't very good, and she's really not good at this part of her job, and released this little press statement of like, I was disheartened by the comments and Collier's remarks and how the conversation was characterized. But then she had a press conference, and she got a little bit bolder, and when asked, publicly denied those alleged comments.
Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And do you actually feel that way, that without this platform, players like Caitlin Clark wouldn't be making what they do off the court?
Yeah, obviously I did not make those comments. Caitlin has been a transformational player in this league. She's been a great representative of the game. She's brought in tens of millions of new fans to the game, proud of what she's put on the court. Unfortunately, the injuries held her back from a full season this year. But again, I'm not going to get into every point, counterpoint. It's not productive here. We're here to celebrate the WNBA Finals.
Along with some of the problems with the referees and everything else. But when she denied those comments, Collier got pissed off, and she doubled down, and she went back and said, we go to battle every day to protect the shield that doesn't value us. They were supposed to have a meeting right after all this happened. Collier apparently canceled the meeting. There's been all sorts of tension, and the entire dialogue is broken down completely, and now there's all sorts of back and forth and rumors and this, and we're worried about lockouts and everybody else, and they won't talk to each other, and Collier won't take her phone calls, and it's a big old thing, and everybody wants to give all the love to Fee. Everybody wants to say, God, what a hero. She did it. She fought her. And it's not fun for me. I want to be always the good guy or have the easy take.
Okay, if no one else will say it, I will.
Someone had to bring it up. Somebody has to bring up something that is an uncomfortable truth, that as a co-owner and founder of the rival league, we are basically praising a poker player for winning with a royal flush. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how much it's bravery or pure conflict of interest, or if I can give any credit at all to somebody who played a hand that she could not lose. Like I said, Collier is not just the WNBA vice president during these negotiations. She's the co-founder and part owner of Unrivaled, the new player-led off-season league who, in my opinion, I think want to be more than just the off-season league. I think they would love to replace the WNBA as Stewart and Collier, and it's really a player-led, very ground roots kind of movement here. I think they would love to go completely to the Unrivaled league. She is the co-founder and owner of that league.
Why is no one concerned about this?
That's kind of a big deal. That's not just a side hustle. That is a complete conflict of interest. That is not just being a little dishonest. That's a walking contradiction. You cannot be the face of a rival league and at the same time claim to be an objective voice in union negotiations with the WNBA.
Is that a conflict of interest?
The best example I can give you is like wrestling. Tony Khan, who owns AEW, if he worked with Vince McMahon and suddenly you heard him do press conferences like, y'all should have heard what Vince said. Oh, man, Vince said this crazy thing. He said this crazy thing. Word for word, I promise you. I think we would all at least question his motives or at least have, a little bit of hesitancy to go, really? Is that really what he said?
Are you sure that's what he said?
Right.
I don't think anybody else, if we weren't so sensitive to not wanting to go after the WNBA, I think we would have to admit this is a huge conflict of interest. So if Unrivaled succeeds, it does so at the expense of the WNBA, and every time now Fee swings at Cathy, I at least have to ask the question, I think most of us should, is this about reforming the WNBA, or are you recruiting for your own league? There were 3 possible outcomes, and Fee could not lose by taking the role that she did as the leader of the WNBA, the Katniss Everdeen of the oppressed, when she was playing with a royal flush. There were 3 possible results. First one's already happened, and is the personal brand jackpot that she has received. She has gone from underrated to the #1 hero of the WNBA. And it's not like Fee hasn't been elite. She has been a top 2 or 3 player in the league for years now. She was top 5 in the MVP voting the last 3 straight years and has been only runner-up to A'ja Wilson, best player in the world, the last 2. But she was never a household name. She was 8th in jersey sales. She was behind names like Kate Martin, Van Lith, and Cameron Brink, girls she had no business being behind and is a much better player than. She was signed with Nike. She is signed with Nike, but she has no signature shoe. And suddenly she calls out Kathy Engelbert, and everybody's on her side. And suddenly it's a big brand glow up. She's now not just a top player, she's the people's champion. Most people now know she's the granddaughter of a civil rights hero, so she's carrying the torch, she's standing up to the establishment, and in the meantime, while being this symbol of progress, her name is now number one in WNBA searches. She's number one trending over names like Caitlyn and Angel, who used to be in front of her, so that's not just attention she's gotten from this, she's gotten a lot of value personally. The other two outcomes is going to be one or the other, and again, both win for fee. The first one I call the Katniss Everdeen outcome versus the district WNBA, where if the league caves to a lot of what the WNBA ladies are asking for, whether it's socially more than fiscally responsible, she still wins at the expense of the league, but players will get more money, the fans will cheer, the media will praise her, she wins again. And I don't know if they can get or should get what the WNBA might have to pay them if they bow to social pressure. Never mind that the league is still not profitable and has never been in its entire history. Never mind that currently finals tickets are going for $35, which is a little bit disconcerting, to say the least. Never mind that most of the country even forgot the finals are happening and spent more time talking about these two ladies arguing. The public doesn't care about economics. They only care about the optics, and right now the optics say hero versus villain. So let's say she gets what she wants in all of these demands and having this catfight and this big, huge breakdown here, that the WNBA ends up caving and gives them more money than is probably fiscally responsible. She again gets to be the hero, the Hunger Games Katniss of women's sports, the Mockingjay of the WNBA, with the bow drawn and the crowd cheering. The third outcome that can happen from this, and this is probably, again, the quietest but most profitable win for fee, she is the co-founder and part owner of Unrivaled. So if the WNBA takes a hit, they have a boycott, they have a backlash, they have a drop in ratings, who benefits?
We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich!
Oh, the league she just happens to own and be a co-founder of. What a coinky-dink. The rival league she owns now becomes the cool alternative, and girls like Caitlin Clark, who she suddenly shouted out and has turned them down for 2 years, maybe she goes over there, and she is the Tiger Woods, and the entire fans would shift attention to her league. Suddenly, they love Caitlin. They love Unrivaled. Guess who wins again? Good old fee, hero to the common person. And so, again, it's Triple Crown. She gets a brand boost out of this. She gets financial gain out of this. She gets the moral authority out of this. She gets more praise. She gets more sympathy for the league that she actually owns. No matter what, she gets more money. I don't know how much this is rebellion more than it is just playing a royal flush. Like, how much credit can I give you for playing a hand that there was no way of losing?
Smithers, there's no way I can lose this bet.
And having to pretend that this part wasn't there and listening to the media and nobody bring it up is continually this delicacy of talking between male and female sports, because I really don't have any doubt. If this were a man, or if this were any other male sport, I think we would obviously question the motives of a co-founder of a rival league being not just the union rep, but saying quotes about what the commissioner said and not taking it verbatim and at least having some questions. But we can't do that in 2025. There's a threefold security blanket of criticism with the WNBA and the ladies.
No one wants to admit that they are racist or sexist or phobic.
I've dealt with this. It's a tough thing to have to discuss, but there's X, Y, and Z reasons why you're not supposed to criticize the WNBA, the players, or their battles. And if you criticize Napheesa, you're anti-women. If you question her motives, you're anti-player. If you defend Kathy Engelbert, you're anti-progress. It's selective accountability, and it's really not helpful to make the moves. And I'm not saying that Kathy hasn't made mistakes, but pretending this is a one-sided issue is dishonest. It's a poker game, and Napheesa was sitting on a royal flush. She couldn't lose if she tried. I don't know how much credit I can give her for doing what should have been painfully obvious. And so last thing I'll say on it, I want to reiterate, I'm not saying that Collier is a villain, or even that she doesn't even mean what she says. I truly believe she might have some bias that she doesn't quite understand is coming from her. And we can respect the move, but I have a hard time pretending it's completely selfless. I like Fee. Everyone likes Fee. Nobody wants to disrespect her. We want to protect women, but it's a big part of the story that she's a co-owner and co-founder of the other league. And on a side note, I really don't know, unless Cathy is like the dumbest lady in the world, that she would actually say the direct quotes that Napheesa claims that she said. In arguments, sometimes you hear things the way you want. Maybe that could be it. But the quotes just sounded so, I don't know, over the top. You know, the Scrooge of the W, oh, you ladies will get the penance I throw you, this evil overlord. it just sounded a bit silly to me that she would say those things out loud to the union rep. She also has been around for a while in business. I don't think even if she thought it, she would say something that's stupid. I mean, is this the real Kathy?
I run the WNBA, and I don't for 1 second give two shits what some loudmouth bozo like Napheesa Collier has to say. I don't even get why she has to go out and stage some stupid press conference just to say some stuff everyone already knows. Like, Napheesa, get it through your empty little head that absolutely nobody would know about any of you ladies if it wasn't for the WNBA and if it wasn't for me. Keeping this money-losing piece of shit league afloat. There would be no WNBA, and absolutely none of you wenches would have any endorsement deals or whatever bullshit. Every year I have to go get on my knees and beg Adam Silver to keep subsidizing this DEI bullshit that nobody watches so that we can send these bricklaying females around the country to play in empty arenas in front of no fans.
That was an AI video there. But, I mean, seriously, I just have a hard time buying the story 100%. And I will also warn, it's easy to blame mean old Kathy Engelbert and mean old leadership, but it's a simple narrative that seems to fall into what a lot of younger and WNBA audiences already want to appeal to. There's a lot of times y'all bring your own stuff into this, so I have to ask the simple question. If Kathy Engelbert wasn't there, is that the only thing that is stopping the WNBA from being the most successful, everyone's a millionaire company in the entire world of sports?
It's all her fault.
And if that's not the case, maybe we need to take a more nuanced look at this. It's easy to pile on Kathy. She's too corporate. She's too cautious. She really hasn't handled a lot of things well, but she's also the one who, at least on the business side, landed the new TV deals. She expanded the schedule. She's tripled the league's evaluation. Would the WNBA even be growing without her is just as fair of a question of this kind of simple-ass narrative we put out to where, man, if it wasn't for Kathy, they'd all just be rolling in dough.
We'd be rich.
This would be the most successful league in all the sports if it wasn't for mean old Kathy and the mean old leadership of the WNBA. It fits into what a lot of people want to believe in their own life, this idea that I'd be the most successful podcaster in the world if it wasn't for this. I'd be the millionaire if it wasn't for this person or that thing. It feeds into a narrative that we already want to believe. It's very Uncle Rico.
Yeah, coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We'd have been state champions, no doubt.
It's very, I just want people to be careful and re-ask yourself the question, is the only thing holding the WNBA back Kathy and leadership? If she was not in leadership and there was a better CEO, would this be a league that's just rolling in dough and in profit and television ratings and everything else? I think it's easy to blame leadership than share accountability. You also have players who don't do a good job at marketing themselves, fans who tweet and argue online more than buy tickets. Progress takes everybody. I also want to reiterate the hypocrisy. I'm a little wary as a Caitlyn fan of suddenly Napheesa and everyone else being on this protect Caitlyn bandwagon.
Oh, so now you feel bad for me.
Again, I think I see what you're doing here.
You fake smarty pants. I know exactly what you're doing.
The cash cow who turned down your league twice, all of a sudden you want to protect her and speak up for her publicly. Where was this the last 2 years when she was basically treated like a damn rookie in the NHL, getting hip checked all over the place and beat up and all sorts of stuff? Now you want to take the moral high ground and be like, oh, we got to speak up for Caitlyn and these cash cows that are not getting what they deserve. And even if that was the case, I will take you back to a YouTube vid I did a long time ago where I explained all of this. The real system y'all should put in that no one is fighting for, including Collier, is the MLS-style system. They do a minimum salary, but they have exemptions for the big stars. So if your argument is that it's Angel, Paige, Caitlyn, and they deserve a lot more money, there is a system already in place that you're very close to, Major League Soccer, where they will pay everyone a good amount of money, but the Messis and the big stars of the world will get 20, 30, 40 times what everyone else gets because that's what they deserve. Do you really want that? Do you really want fairness for Caitlyn and Paige and Angel? Or are you just saying it because, again, it fits the narrative and makes you look good And behind closed doors, would you support any system like that? I truly doubt it. Is it about paying these girls more, or is it more about your optics? And is it even more about maybe bringing Caitlyn into your league finally, where you would make a ton more money? And I've brought it up before. I don't even want to mention, really, if you boycott ladies, God damn it. I hope you got something on your resume. I hope you're on LinkedIn. You will not survive a boycott in any way that you are looking or think that it will be beneficial. Finals tickets already right now are only $35. They can't break $2 million, and they're trying to brag about 1.3 and 1.9 for their WNBA Finals ratings. Caitlyn killed all of that in the regular season multiple times, and her buzz is fading now because of the injuries and everything else. History will move on, man. I'm telling you, history shows fans will move on. MLB, NHL, they tried strikes. They never really got to be back to where they were. The WNBA doesn't have the cushion that they do. And so, like Kathy or not, y'all need to work together. I don't really know how much I want to praise this whole, I'm going to publicly throw out these quotes that she said or may not have said, and I'm going to start arguments, and I'm not going to take meetings with her. Cat fights don't build this league. Strategy and solidarity do. And I still want to question a little bit, as great and respectful and awesome as she's been, there might have been some other motives for the hero of the WNBA, the people's champion, the Katniss Everdeen, and somebody had to bring it up, so I did. Now I'm going to move on. Next up. NBA is back, thank God. Oh, thank God. I've been waiting for this. Woo, yes, NBA is back, and I get one more year with a healthy Steph Curry. I'm excited about that, as the 37-year-old has entered his 17th season. And last year was kind of rough for me because he was a lone splash brother. Without Klay Thompson, it didn't feel the same. Obviously, Jimmy coming in helped, Buddy Hield, and others. But I am so excited. I am so excited because this is something I asked for years. But the real Splash Brothers, Steph and Seth Curry, are finally together, and I will say it's about damn time.
It's about time. Hey, it is about time.
It's about damn time. I've been asking for this forever, and this really should have happened probably 5 years ago, but Steph and Seth Curry, the brothers, are united at last on my favorite team, and I'll ignore the other problems right now, including we can call them the Golden State Warriors. They have the oldest roster, according to NBA research in history, for their starting five. They have way too many guards, which is more relevant to this problem. Steph Curry, Buddy Hield, Melton's back now, still got Moody, GP2, Pods, Spencer, now Richard, Cryer. That's 9 guards already. There's too many guards in this kitchen, but I'll forget all that for now, because the one thing I want to focus on, because it feels so right, is Seth Curry is now joined his brother Steph, and I got the real Splash Brothers. I am so happy about this, because this move has made so much sense for so long. Seth, especially now, is such a good addition, being the replacement for Klay Thompson, because he is not just a good shooter, he is a lethal shooter. Most people don't realize. Google it. Seth Curry, not Steph Curry, led the entire NBA last year in three-point percentage. Did you know that? Everybody loves to talk about the greatest shooters. Seth Curry led the NBA, 45.6% from threes. Number one shooter, at least percentage-wise, in the entire league. So now we have the actual Splash Brothers, not just good friends who shoot alike, brothers who are both three-point assassins. And I was so mad for so long because I've been asking for this, so I just got to be grateful that I have it. But if you don't know the backstory, this was an annoying thing, because for years the Warriors actually multiple times tried to bring Seth in, and I get it, but I don't. He was hesitant, and you can read the reports, because he said he didn't want to live in his brother's shadow. So Seth had multiple opportunities to make this happen years ago, and he didn't want to do it because I don't want to live in my brother's shadow. And my point that I always made was like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, but no matter where you play, you are Steph Curry's brother.
Cast a pretty big shadow.
No matter where you play, Seth will be in Steph's shadow. This is the same thing when Bronny James tried to complain about LeBron. You could have played on Mars. You could play on a boat, in a moat, in a box with a fox. People, anywhere they see, you could be in Africa playing in some church league there, and someone's going to go, oh my God, that's Steph Curry's brother. It doesn't take away from who you are, but it's a shadow that you can't escape, even though it doesn't take away anything from you. I'm just glad he's finally gotten over it, because Seth Curry, again, on his own, is a great player. We got to learn to respect the resume of Seth. Just because he's not Steph doesn't mean he doesn't do his thing. Seth was a real one before the league realized, and most of y'all did. All-state in high school. In Liberty, as a freshman, he led the entire NCAA for freshmen in scoring, 20.2 points per game. Then he transferred to Duke and did great there. Then he bounced around the G League, but he was able to fight his way to the NBA. He holds the 76ers all-time record for three-point percentage, 42.6 over his career in Philly. He's just always been stuck on bad teams. And so now he's finally landed where he belongs, next to his brother, with a chance to cook. And this is such a marketing dream. The actual real Splash Brothers, the nickname already existed. Now we have the actual brothers both doing well. This Steph and Seth, it sounds like a Netflix doc already. I'm sure his agent finally probably has his pants down, pinching his nipples, doing backflips, wondering, why didn't you do this years ago?
Damn, dog, it took you so long.
Why couldn't we make this obvious transition years ago? It was one of these sports moments that almost didn't happen. And so I guess I got to be happy and just grateful that it is. It's almost like band reunions that end up not happening, or you wait for a movie sequel that never quite works out, or WWE, I'll go back to wrestling, like dream matches that never worked out. Stone Cold Goldberg is one that always came to my mind. This is actually happening, and it's such a great thing. They both are in good places. They could both really use each other. And why this will be so special is because at some point this season, I predict at some point this season, the arguably two best shooters currently in the entire planet are going to get hot on the same team, on the same time. Seth Curry and his league-leading 45.6% in the entire NBA last year, and Steph Curry, the greatest shooter to ever dribble a basketball, are both going to get on heaters at the exact same time. And when that happens, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be family. It's going to be hopefully in Golden State with the bench going nuts. It's going to give me all the feel and nostalgia of Steph and Clay, but it's even cooler because it's Steph and Seth. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch, and probably one of my favorite moments, not just of this year, but probably all of NBA basketball, because I've screamed for this for years to happen, and it looks like we are on the precipice of seeing it. I can't wait to see it. I'm just glad it happened before it was too late and still got something left. Seth Curry, I'm so glad you made the right decision. And just so you know, it's not about your brother's shadow. You have enough light to shine on your own. Welcome to Golden State. I can't wait to see you and Steph kick some ass, and hopefully the Warriors can trade one of the 87 guards we have for a goddamn center and maybe push towards a title as well. Moving on completely. More NBA talk. I got two red flags. As I've mentioned, I just talked about Steph, and earlier I talked about LeBron James. They are getting older. It is time for them to move on. And who is next is going to be a continual discussion. We brought up Anthony Edwards, Skinny Luka now, Jokic. But the two brightest young stars, who are both great, are both missing one thing. So I'm going to call this, for Cooper and Victor, my big red flags on each one. I've seen something they're missing that is important, and I want to talk about it. So Victor Wembanyama, I want to quickly bring this up. Dude, if you haven't seen preseason or what's been going on in the offseason, the aliens landed. Victor's ready. This is his year. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is the arrival of the 2.0, not the young Victor. After his sophomore season got cut by his blood clot, in case y'all haven't looked. Go look online. He spent the entire offseason transforming, not just a new diet, not just a few Instagram workouts. He went full Arnold, movie montage style. He's been training with Shaolin monks in China, literally shaved his head. He's been working with Hakeem Olajuwon. He's added all sorts of muscle. The media's already calling it Body by Vic. He came back. He looks like a character unlocked from NBA 2K. The viral moments that we've already seen are already eye-dropping. That Hulk dunk he got in the Spurs scrimmage where he just baptized his own teammate, Luke Cornett, was just physical dominance and muscle we haven't seen from him. In his preseason debut, yes, they were going against the Guangzhou Lung Lions, but still, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks in just 16 minutes. This dude is literally an alien. He grew another inch apparently last summer. He's now 7'4" to go with that 8-foot wingspan. He can do literally anything he wants on the court, and now has the muscle to back it up, shoot, dribble, pass, defend, run the floor. He's the greatest thing we've ever seen talent-wise, and he is still missing the one thing I've said for a while that he needs to add. Why, oh why? After all of this work, do I still not hear that Victor Wembanyama has not added the Skyhook? I need this question answered because I said this before and I'll scream it again. Wembanyama is missing the one thing that would make him the greatest of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook. I don't understand how this isn't already part of his arsenal. You worked with Hakeem Olajuwon, that's awesome. Now go spend a week with Kareem and learn the shot that only you could make even more unstoppable than he did. For people that don't know your history, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had one shot his entire career. The all-time leading scorer had one damn shot, basically, the skyhook. And he shot that thing 30 times a game on average at a 50% clip. Did the math on that. That means he took 27,000 skyhooks in Kareem's career. Do you know how many times out of 27,000 those things got blocked? 3. 27,000 attempts. 3 of those shots were blocked, and the only people that pulled it off were Wilt Chamberlain and Ralph Sampson, and that's it out of 27K. Everybody knew it was coming, and nobody could stop it. I cannot imagine if Victor, with all the other skill sets that he had, learned the skyhook that Kareem does, with the fact that Kareem wasn't even 7'4", that Kareem doesn't have his wingspan, Kareem doesn't move like a guard. Imagine Wemby with that. The league would be toasted. It'd be vaporized. You couldn't double him. He can pass. You can't contest him because he would just go right over you. You really can only pray that he would miss the shot. He could actually do it off the dribble as a guard. It would end defense as we know it. I don't know what you would do. Kareem made it to 42 with this one damn shot. Victor would make it to 45 easy as long as blood clots or health things didn't play into it. And I've heard him do interviews where he said stuff like he's worked on it a little. Get off your ass. Stop working with Hakeem. Go work with Kareem. That should be the only thing you work on. Morning, noon, and night. You should be at Skyhook University learning that one shot. It would take you from generational to immortal. I am begging Victor. You are the next big thing, and this year will be a big deal. Everyone keep an eye on Wembanyama and the Spurs. He is going to open a lot of eyeballs. After this year, think about what if he added the Skyhook from Kareem to the resume. The entire league would be toast. It would be combining the future and the past and just complete the timeline. It'd be Thanos. He'd be Thanos with all 5 stones at that point. I don't know what anybody could do. Speaking of players, speaking of history, this one just bothers me. I got to talk about Cooper Flagg quickly, the top gun for Dallas now. Look, some of y'all are going to say I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, and I disagree completely because the fact that he is as happy as he is to be as ignorant as he is should be a giant red flag. Cooper Flagg, as talented as he is, should not be this happy to be as dumb as he came off.
He says you're a big, stupid dum-dum with a dumb face.
The Dallas Mavericks should be ecstatic. Don't get me wrong. I like Cooper Flagg. I think he's going to be a very, very good player in this league, and on paper is everything you could want. 6'8", 221 pounds, two-way, all over the court, ridiculous motor, elite basketball IQ, prototype, can guard all 5 positions. Now he's initiating the offense in the preseason. He can make plays off the dribble. He plays defense like prime Andre Karolinko, but he's got a 3-point shot to go with it. The ACC Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, #1 overall pick. They have every reason to celebrate because of his talent and his work ethic and his motor. And with Luka gone, obviously they needed a face, and they lucked into this one, and all of that is fantastic. But here is my issue. There was a viral video that came out just last week that is not a small thing to me. I think it's a problem. They showed Cooper Flagg opening a 2006 pack of basketball cards as kind of a cute, fun little video. Here, open these cards from your birth year, 2006. Cute little nostalgia moment, right? Let them look at the players and talk about them. The problem was this ignorant shit didn't know any of them. Anybody not associated right now with the Dallas Mavericks, he had no clue who they were.
Let's see how many people you can recognize.
Oh, no chance. Not good to start. Hedo Turkoglu. Yeah, no, don't know him. Okay, Juwan Howard. We know Coach Howard. Michael Finley. Okay, we know Michael. We know Coach Finn.
Mavs legend too.
Yes, Mavs legend. Eric Snow. I don't know Eric Snow.
Sixer guy.
I don't even want to try and say this guy's name.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Big Z. Played with Braun.
Okay. Rasal Butler. I feel like I've heard the name.
Yep.
So yeah, however you say it. Antoine Walker. I know Antoine Walker. Antoine Wright.
Okay.
Then Rashad McCants.
That's it.
Also don't know.
This dude, the #1 pick, who's supposed to be generational and know the sport, doesn't recognize Hedo Turkoglu, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Eric Snow. McCants is on a damn podcast now. It is hard to be this willfully ignorant if you ask me. How do you look at like Big Z and draw a blank, or Turkoglu, who cooked Kobe and the Lakers just in 2009? Like, it wasn't that long ago. This is not just a lot of people trying to say, oh, it's just generational gap. Ha, ha, ha. Isn't that funny? No, it's not funny. This is his job.
It's your job to know this.
You're supposed to know your stuff, man. You cannot call yourself, if you are trying to become the next great one, and not even know who came before you less than 20 years ago, that is a red flag, whether you want to make a big deal out of it or not. A few months ago, I compared him to Kobe, at least on the fact of I didn't know if he deserved the no clutch gene yet because he was willing to take the shot, much like Kobe did back in 1998 when he was a young rookie with a lot of pressure. But Kobe Bryant would never, ever, even at his young age, have been this embarrassingly ignorant, stupid, and seemingly happy that he didn't know shit about shit. Go look at Kobe. Go look at his old tapes. I'll even throw just a quick preview. I don't want to get ESPN mad at me.
You see a lot of similarities in players. And, there isn't a move that's a new move. There's nothing that hasn't been done before. I seriously have stolen all of these moves from these great players.
But not only did he watch the old legends way before 19 years prior, he studied them, he learned from them, he brought them into his own game. He broke down everybody's film. Jerry West, Michael Jordan, players way before his time, Oscar Robertson. And then he threw in like Olajuwon, Magic, etc. He learned, he stole, he evolved. He could tell you all about each player, their footwork, how they did this, how they did that, how he incorporated it into his game. He watched tapes of guys who retired before he was even born. And this new kid who thinks it's funny doesn't know players from literally when the iPhone is already around. That's embarrassing. That's not a generation gap. That's a mindset gap. Ignorance ain't cute. It's a red flag. This doesn't mean nitpicking. This is about, curiosity. Great players, the really great ones, are obsessed with their craft. Historically obsessed. Not just Kobe. Look at all the great ones. They all know the legend that came before them and learned to them. To know who paved the road that they are walking on. Cooper Flagg's ignorance told me something bigger, that he's either comfortable or he's just an idiot or he's way too happy to be that ignorant. But this whole laughing, ha, I don't know who Turkoglu is. I don't know who Big Z is. I don't think it's cute. I really think he needs to kind of have somebody give him a wake-up call. Like, dude, you could learn a lot from people that were only in the league 19 years before, not to mention maybe players before that. You want to be generational, study the generations. I'm not saying that Cooper might not still be great, but there's a big difference because talent is what you're born with. Greatness is what you learn. It bothered me. I was like, dude, how can you be this dumb? How can the new Top Gun, who only spent a year at Duke, what were you studying?
I never learned to read.
How do you not Hedo Turkoglu? That's way too. I don't know. It's a giant red flag for the Mavericks' new Top Gun.
I have one more thing to say.
Last one here, and I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call this segment LaVar Ball and the Three-Legged Dog of Hope. I want to shout out someone who I've been critical of for a very long time, LaVar Ball. Father of course, the three Ball brothers, and all of them are doing great, and let's give him and his son some love. Melo is currently doing his one-footed threes out there in Charlotte. Lonzo, after some injuries and some problems, is now in Cleveland. Looks like he's going to have a real chance to play for a good team. And LiAngelo just got $13 million signed with Def Jam. And this whole, his song, I swerved in a corner, whoa. Did that awful performance on the ESPYs. It's a whole other side note for another day. These rappers, these new mumble group rappers that have no stage presence, it's so ironic. They have these lyrics of, I'm tough, I'm bad, I'm this, and you get them on stage, they get a few eyeballs on them. I'm the best motherfucker in the world. I get all the... Like, they're just these shy little babies. I don't know if that really helped his career, but somehow he still got $13 million with Def Jam. So shout out to Jello, shout out to Melo, shout out to Lonzo. But let's shout out LaVar Ball. And what I'm calling this segment is the Three-Legged Dog of Hope, and there's a reason for it, so let me break it down. First of all, I need to be honest. I never liked LaVar.
This game is not played one-on-one. You know why it ain't played one-on-one? Because I'd be the champ of the world if it was.
growing up and watching him, I really used to dislike LeVar Ball. I felt like he was living vicariously through his kids. I didn't like the stage mom energy, and I would be vocal about it, and people would try to hit me with stuff that got on my nerves. They would say things like, Brent, you don't understand. You just have a problem seeing a strong black father succeed, which I was like, dude, besides the cuss words I'm not going to repeat, whatever, man. He used to piss me off, and it had nothing to do with his race. It was a stage mom thing. He reminded me of those big, fat, white lady stage moms who will sit there and nitpick their 6-year-old at some pageant, and they'll be dancing in the audience. You know what I'm talking about? That lady, that's the energy and the vibe. This look at me, it's all about me, even though my kid's doing the work energy that overshadowed his kids for a very long time. I saw a parent living through the results instead of letting the kids live their lives, and it bothered me. But time can change us. Time can change us all, and I got to admit, what's happened with LaVar and his attitude is growing on me. And he was the king of saying stupid shit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend LaVar didn't say a ton of stupid shit. All sorts of stuff about how his son, Lonzo, was going to be the greatest. When he first came out, everyone remembers this. You know, Lonzo's going to be the greatest Laker of all time. I could beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one. They had to kick him off ESPN because he made inappropriate comments to female reporters. The whole stay in your lane comment thing there. Those god-awful big baller shoes he charged $600 for that literally got an F rating. His business got an F rating from the Better Business Bureau because of the high prices, the poor customer service. Some people blame the fact that Lonzo wore those pieces of crap on the floor for his early injuries. He was constantly interfering in his son's careers, whether he's transferring from high school to high school, questioning coaches like Luke Walton publicly. Then he went on to question UCLA for having too many white guys on the team. Then he tried to downplay LiAngelo getting arrested in China for shoplifting, yada, 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 on and on. But time can change everyone. Conditions can change everyone. And he's not the same 2017 character that he used to be. And the big thing is that he ended up losing a leg. I don't know if everyone knows this. LeVar Ball, because of his diabetic condition, lost part of his leg from complications. And that is real life. And that is something that you can be annoyed with someone and not even be in the same category of like, oh, I'm glad that happened. That was a sad thing to see. Poor LaVar have to lose a leg. I can't even imagine losing a pinky finger. I don't think there's any part of my body I am okay with losing. Losing part of your leg as an athlete had to be a very sad thing. And the reason I'm shouting him out now is because he's being LaVar. And it's such a beautiful thing. Instead of bitterness, he's joking about it. He's dancing. He's laughing. I just saw a video the other day. They asked him again, could you beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one? He says the only reason Michael has a chance now is because he's only got one leg.
You still going to be able to beat Jordan with 1 foot?
What?
You still beating Jordan with 1 foot?
You know I can. All day, every day. I took it off so it'll be even.
Like I love being able to make and do and be able to inspire even in just the toughest of conditions. So that's when it hit me. LaVar is my ambassador of the three-legged dog. LaVar is my ambassador of the phrase that I've created a long time ago, that hope is a three-legged dog. And what I've always meant by that is that if you've ever seen a dog with 3 legs, what I love about them is that they never sat around crying and looking and focusing on the one leg that they lost. They don't resent the other dogs that still have 4 legs. They just get up, they keep it pushing, they limp a little, but they're still just like, hey, what's for lunch? Can we go on a walk? It might still be a shorter walk, but I would still love to go on a walk with you. Somehow, three-legged dog is almost immediately able to put the past behind him or her and enjoy the future in front of them. They don't focus on what's gone. They move on with what's left. It has always been an inspirational thing for me to see. It's hope, and it's LaVar. I got to give the guy credit. I know it sounds wild calling LaVar a symbol of hope, but this dude lost his brand. He lost his reputation. He's lost part of his leg, and he's still smiling. He's still trolling. He's still loud. He's still moving forward. He lost a leg, but he's still running the offense. It's resilience. It's defiance. It's hope. I mean, look, I'm not trying to rewrite history. The dude was exhausting for a very long time. The disrespect, wild claims, coach criticism, all that's valid. But there has to be also a recognition of maybe a little bit of that chaotic energy is what also makes him as unbreakable as he was unbearable, because adversity has really hit him. He hasn't folded. If anything, he's barking. He's barking louder. I love it. I really do. It's such a cool thing to see. My favorite thing, and I'll play this real quick and I'll move on, is when the Goob Lagoon thing, the craze that's gone around. In case y'all missed it, he joined the Goob Lagoon craze. There's some streamer named Queso, and he and his listeners and streamers have created this fake water park called Goob Lagoon where all these horrible things are happening. And it got so viral that they started adding celebrities in the cameos where you can pay for them to say something about, oh, the Goob Lagoon was the worst experience of my life. LaVar joined the cameo group in his condemnation and actually blamed Goob Lagoon for taking his leg. Check this out.
I went down there to the Queso Goob Lagoon because all the words sounded good. Queso, Goob, Lagoon, nothing could go wrong. So I figured I'll go on down there and get down with the get down. But let it be known, I gets down there and I'll tell you something. I was sliding down the Death Loop slide. Thought I was having a good time. And I lost my goddamn foot. That's right, I lost my foot at the Goob Lagoon. I won't be doing that again. I guess not, because I only got one foot now, and I ain't gonna slide twice. But anyways, man, y'all better fix that goddamn slide and make it a two-seater so you don't lose your foot.
Like, that's hilarious. I got to give him credit. To have already the ability to make a joke or laugh about things and look at things in a brighter light. It's not just denial. It's creative survival. It's what a three-legged dog, it's the ambassador of the movement does. Take the pain, reframe it, and just keep on pushing. So shout out to LaVar Ball. Never thought I'd say it. It's a guy I used to clown who might be now one of the best examples I've seen in a while of how to live after loss. Hope isn't, clean. It limps, it wobbles, but it moves on. And if you've ever lost something, whether it's a dream, a person, a piece of yourself, remember, hope is a three-legged dog. Somewhere out there, LaVar Ball is still going to race you with just one leg left. And knowing him, he'll tell you he'll beat you by 20 yards because the dude never lost. All right, I got to go. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. I'm going to enjoy the last few hours of being 44. Thank you as always. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Tricky Guy Sports.
And smash that subscribe button.